In this video, we are going to talk about the power of meditation and really how to stay in the state where you've cleared all the stuff out of your head once you get there, because that's really where the real impact is. Coming up. All right, preliminary stuff out of the way, because we are not only a nootropics information faucet here on the Cortex Nootropics and Smart Drugs channel on YouTube, and then on the livecortex.com/blog where we're really trying to be the most comprehensive, biggest nootropics blog on the planet. We've got tons of information over there, but we also put out high quality products. We've got a commercial pre-made stack called Cortex that is exceptionally strong, exceptionally powerful, and its ingredients work on neurogenesis, facilitating neurite outgrowth, facilitating motivation by modulating dopamine receptors, facilitating focus and working memory and verbal fluency by increasing acetylcholine and modulating acetylcholine receptors. It's a very, very powerful synergistic stack called Cortex. It's basically comparable to modafinil in most of our customers' eyes. Very strong. Get it at livecortex.com. Use the coupon code 5. Get $5 off. Also, we wrote a nootropics instructional guide that not only tells you everything you need to know about racetams, choline sources, where to get whatever nootropics, what gear to use, nootropics philosophy, how to think about nootropics, how to take nootropics and when, what situations to take nootropics in, but it's stack ridden. It is filled with stacks you will never see anywhere. These are the most powerful stacks on the planet, and we divulge them in a book. Get it at livecortex.com. Use the coupon code 5. Get $5 off. Okay. So meditation, I always say meditation is the ultimate nootropic, right? We can modulate the brain via taking nootropics, and we can get our brains in particular states that either facilitate a productivity, allow us to be more productive, or allow us to be more creative, or allow us our speed of processing to work better, or allow us to have better working memory. And there are some nootropics that work toward calming the brain down. We call these tranquility nootropics. You've got L-theanine, you got phenibut, you got things like St. John's wort, any number of other sort of pharma-GABA, other sort of calming, glycine, ones that work on neurotransmitters that are inhibitory in the nervous system or turn on alpha brainwave functioning, or otherwise just really calm the brain down. 5-HTP is another one, precursor to serotonin. And so, but there is, there's just, as far as I can tell, as far as I've come to learn, and I've been in this nootropics game for just about 9 years, there really isn't a nootropic compound that you can take that'll replicate the effects of meditation, right? So meditation is sort of a nootropic in its own right. The closest I've been able to really get is just taking particular nootropics that put the brain in a better condition to be able to have control over attention, so that you can induce the meditative state better. And probably the prime candidate would be uridine monophosphate and or a combination of uridine and CDP-choline in 150 milligram and 80 milligram quantities respectively. But the primary, the primary takeaway of this video is I want to help people to understand that once you get into the place where you've cleared all that thinking out, then ultimately the strategy is you have to stay there for a while. You got to try to stay in that state for a while. And that's really where the compounded benefits come from. The benefits of feeling extra happiness throughout the day, the ensuing day after you meditate, for no reason. I mean, just because you've activated the circuits in your brain, particularly the left prefrontal cortex, and you have sent more blood flow and oxygenation, and more information is able to travel through the median part of your brain, which connects the hemispheres, called the corpus callosum. And look, you've just activated the neurochemistry for feeling happy, so you feel happy throughout the day. You gain more control over the particular neurology that allows you to respond to stress better. So in response to anxiety, you have a better anxiety response. And these are all extremely powerful, sort of sustainable under the condition that you keep doing meditation type of things. But you can only reach those states if you calm down all the chatter and then you stay in that state. And the best strategy for me, and I guess the strategy that I want to try to offload onto you guys and have folks go and try and do and implement, is, look, when you're meditating, you are trying to control attention, okay? So, no one ever really teaches you how to just try to pay attention, engage in the brain state of paying attention Like, you know, when you pay attention to something, like if I'm paying attention, I'm locked in, I'm not focused on anything else, I'm totally in, right? So if you could try, the best way to meditate that I found that really turns on the brain, and once you get into this state, I mean, it's just like, if you can stay there, the benefits are amazing for the rest of the day, for a couple days thereafter, and if you sustainably do it, they just keep perpetuating. Is to literally try to get your brain to do attention, but not be focused particularly on anything. I mean, some people meditate and they put like a little candle in front of them and they'll just focus on the candle, and that's one way to do it. But what you really want to try to do is learn to do attention with the brain. Like, when you put your full attention on something, you are fully, every facet of your brain is just on it, and your brain is not moving that much. You know, that's maybe one part of the induction strategy. Just get it to stop. Just sit there and get it all to stop. And it's the act of you trying to get it to stop, you know, and then it's the state that you're in when you get it to stop, you know, that really starts to work on essentially building the muscle of you getting control over your brain. And that's where, through the rest of the day, you have a better response to stress. Because look, you just trained your attention. You know, you held your attention, you did attention, you know, and did focus, whether you were focusing on something or nothing, you just activated the brain state of attention. And therefore you worked, like you go on a run, you get blood flow and oxygen circulating through the body, and then it lasts for like the whole day. You worked that part of your brain. You worked holding your attention in one place for a considerable period of time. You know, and then you thus sort of primed the brain to be able to do that for at least the rest of the day. Easier, because you've already sort of started the facilitation of the process. And so once you control your attention and you do the act of paying attention, whether it's at a candle, like looking at a candle, or it's just nothing, you're just sitting here going, let me just do the brain state of paying attention, keeping everything sort of centered and not having chatter going on. Once you really start to get into that mode, and you'll feel it, you will feel like, wow, I've cleared things out. Your brain might still want to wander. Stop it from freaking wandering. You have to stop it and just go, shh, stop, stillness. Once you get into that stillness, that's the place to try to, this is where you can really compound. For the next 20 minutes, stay there. As hard as it is, right? As much as you want to go and focus on all the other things that are going on, look at your phone and get distracted by Facebook for 2 hours and scroll around people's cat pictures, stop. Just stay there. Can you do it for 15 minutes? Can you stay there for 15 minutes in that zone? Can you force staying in that zone for 15 minutes? Staying in the mode of just activating attention and clearing everything out. Giving your full attention to the moment, just like staying right there. No other processing. Because if you do, that's where the real benefits are, and that's what I want to get across to people. Once you get into that place and you're in that zone, you know, and you focus your attention and you just have control of your brain, you're not being, nothing's coming in and interjecting, you're not being distracted by anything, and you can sit there and stay there. There's stuff that happens in the brain neurologically, and when you meditate, that some of it's divulged, like, you know, increases in gray matter and increases in like glial cells and all this connecting tissue in the brain over time that is seen in meditators and all these different activated regions of the brain while meditating. But there's likely unseen stuff going on, you know, and whatever that is that's going on is profound. There's different brainwave states. And monks, like the Dalai Lama type monks, like these the Tibetan monks, these guys have been measured with functional MRI, magnetic resonance imagery, like just basically scanning their brain, and have come to realize that they get into gamma states, gamma brainwave states. These are exceptionally powerful states. It's measured by oscillations of electricity in their brain, and these are exceptionally powerful brain states. This is the kind of state that really allows change to take place in the brain, and we see this in fMRIs, and this isn't like, you know, hypey The Secret stuff. I mean, this is sort of, you know, real stuff. This is where the real power is. Like, if you can get into a gamma state, forget it. right? I'd really like to sit down and talk to some monks and maybe take 6 months to a year at some course of my life and actually sit down and really try to do that. I believe that over the course of, I've been meditating for just about as long as I've been taking nootropics, about 9 years, that I've gotten into that state. And I got to tell you, like, it took me an hour and some change, but I was in an incredibly focused place. And my brain benefited for days thereafter. So that's the general takeaway. You want to try to focus your attention. You want to try to do attention. And once you get there, stay there. Try staying there for 15 minutes. That's the challenge. Once you stay there for 15 minutes, you're going to notice the benefits. That's where the real benefits come from. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, Ryan here. Thanks for watching. But if you want to take your brain game to the next level, you want to increase your focus, your verbal fluency, your mental energy, your ability to sit down and crank out work for hours at a time, secure a bottle of the Cortex Nootropic stack. Our customers are clear. This is the best pre-made stack on the planet. And hey, speaking of stacks, if you really want to take your nootropic stack game to the next level, secure the Smarter, Better, Faster book. This is a surgical guide to using nootropics for total mental dominance. You talk about stacks, we got stacks in there. Endless amounts of stacks, power stacks, verbal fluency stacks, working memory stacks. We've got modafinil strategies and everything else you can think of to include a whole sector on nootropics questions answered. Smarter, Better, Faster, the most powerful nootropics guide on the planet. livecortex.com. That's livecortex.com. We'll see you over there.